Hello, guys, and welcome back to round 5, Tier 1 of Indian Racing Community Esports. It is I, the community favorite, washing powder Nirma, coming back after ages into the com box. Alongside with me, we have Dan, the SSG Assassin, streaming the race, and alongside in the commentary box is deepakraj and Electric. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey Nirma, long time no see.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Deepak.
Hey,
Hey,
hi.
SSG. So,
Yeah,
what?
it's been some time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So why don't we quickly move on to the track video? Alright, so this is the Monza circuit. Basically, we have 11 turns, mostly quite straight. I couldn't get to see a full thing of it. We have two DRS zones, one at the home straight and one at the back end. Could not get a clear view of the number of turns here. I think it should be 11. Let's quickly go on to the Hotlap video.
Alright then, and welcome everyone to a lap of Monza, also known as the Temple Speed, and rightfully so as you're hurtling down the main straight at 340 k's. Watch out for the DRS board on the left hand side to activate it. Now, braking just before the 100-meter board, you want to be keeping the minimum speed high and getting a better exit, but make sure you don't get too adventurous on those curves as they will unsettle your car. In fact, don't touch them at all. Now hug the inside of Curb de Grande to minimize the distance travel to the next braking zone. Now preparing for the Della Roja chicane, you want to brake just at the 100-meter board again, avoiding both these curves as they will unsettle your car. Short shifting on exit to get the better traction. So the first Lesmo, flick the car in, make sure your minimum speed is high as well. Second one, same approach, but you want to focus on the exit as well as is a straight proceeding it. Now watch out for the DRS board again to activate it for the extra Ks. Brake bias down to 50 here because you will need to flick the car in, braking just at the 100-meter board, flicking the car in using all the curbs on both sides of this Scotty chicane. Make sure you don't get too adventurous on them as they will unsettle your car, especially on heavier race fuel loads. Now preparing for Parabolica, you want to watch out for the 50-meter board on the left-hand side. Flick the car in. Make sure you get a great exit. Hug the inside to minimize your distance travel to the line, and that completes a lap of this brilliant, brilliant circuit.
That was a blistering lap from Moto. Again, one of the community members from IRC. And well, the game has been updated a few days before this race, and people have said there are some changes in terms of track performance, the way the curves are
It's
going
a
to be
lap.
affecting the cars. A few dead traps that the drivers are going to be looking out for, and since that's the case, a lot of the guys have been practicing tremendously. So I think the qualifying is going to be up shortly. In the meantime, uh, let's talk about the situation in terms of the championship. As of now, I think the real SD in the Williams is
The way the
leading the
curves are going
championship,
to be
affecting the cars. 85 points. Followed behind, come closely behind him is Couple A6 in the Alfa Romeo with 79 points. Very close, 6 points between them. Meanwhile, Moto, the driver with the Hotlap that we just saw, talk about the situation in terms of onto the teams and the constructors. It's very close with the top four. Reason being, Haas and McLaren are tied in points with 92 between them. Alfa Romeo, well, no guesses there. The 1 point behind the both teams in P3. And P4 Williams, again, 1 point behind than Alfa Romeo. So the top four are very close. Even if one driver falls even one position down, it's gonna be a jumbled up position in the constructors.
It has been a very tight grid so far. Like all of the races, it has been. It's not like one driver comes out and dominates everything. It's not been that kind of a season so far. So yeah, the points table are definitely not a surprise. Seeing that.
I don't. What do you expect today in terms of turn one collision? Because Monza, no matter what racing sim you pick up, be it ACC, AC, Formula One, or any Forza game, turn one has always been a very controversial turn, even in real life, I would say. So, what do you expect today or tonight? I must say, on turn one in Monza.
Yeah, like I said, Monza is one of the most infamous tracks, mainly because of its turn one. Because you're going down the straights at almost at the top speed, like fully revving out your engine, and you just come to almost to a halt. and that obviously it's going to open up a lot of opportunities and a lot of risks as well. So the start, it's going to be very chaotic from what you've seen so far, but let's see if the drivers can keep it clean, because that's going to be absolutely key to make sure that the race goes well. Any minor contacts, it's going to wreck their wings and their strategy and everything. So it's going to be a very. I think the drivers will take it cautiously, but we might see a few optimistic dives as well.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you talk about optimist guys, the first thing that comes to my mind is Verstappen and Hamilton from what happened. You couldn't blame it on any two drivers. So if that situation happens again, it's going to be a field day for the stewards in IRC to find who was at fault and what penalties to dish out.
Yep, that was a very. It still is a very polarizing decision among fans, and let's just hope that the stewards don't have to face a similar situation here.
Let's not
but-
talk about that over
Yeah.
here. We might get some differing opinions
Well,
in terms of our viewers.
I just like to give just a bit of a pointer here. Well, since you mentioned that update a bit earlier, the curbs, the sausage curbs in the chicanes especially, they basically like send you flying if you go at them a little, a little too fast. So it could result in something like what happened in IRL Monza in 2021. Just putting it out there, the possibilities are still there.
We have seen a lot of screenshots that our community members have posted. Their cars have taken flight after just hitting the curb, just taking off from the road. So let's just hope that the drivers keep off the curbs today, because, like you said, it will definitely be a very it'll definitely unsettle their performance when that happens for sure.
I don't know what it's doing the performance, but then there's one way to go to the space in a very cost efficient way. If Elon Musk wants to look at that for his space adventures.
Okay.
Well, we still wait for the qualifying to begin. If let's say Deepak, you were a driver in Tier 1, and I mean I would like to include you in this as well, Dan. Let's say both of you were drivers in Tier 1. Both of you are similar in pace. Which one of you would want to qualify on pole, and whether if you would like to qualify in the midfield if you had the midfield pace, and why?
Well, if I were to start off here, since I was in yesterday's race in Tier 2, it's like, especially with Monza, considering how chaotic Turn 1 could be, it's either you qualify at the very start, at pole position, or at the front row at least, or you start at the back and take it easy. And if you're starting at the back, or go with the alternate strategy. Because, like I said, first off, there's a possibility that Turn 1 could be quite chaotic. You might, especially if you're on a regular soft to medium strategy, in case you get any kind of damage, also you can just shift to the mediums immediately. Like the mediums can just last the entire race. And if you're at the back, like you can like take it a little easy, considering that you're not many drivers ahead of you, and there's less possibility that someone might punt you from the back and go ahead. And that's what I did yesterday as well. Like I started at P9 on a set of mediums, and I just managed to keep it clean and like avoid any incidents, avoid any track limit warnings, and just go to take P1. So that's
that's going to be key, like you said, avoiding the incidents over here, because like you said, it could definitely just dent your strategy, and you're gonna have to work your way up, and that could be very tough in this track. But yeah, like coming back to your question, Nirma, and okay, wait, the weather forecast. Well, yeah, it's a clear race, so they're not gonna have any threat of rain.
It's gonna be good for them, but boring for us in the comments box. So I wanted to put some, I know, a commentator's curse on a few drivers for some reason. Yeah, I'm dark that way. Just makes it interesting for the viewers too,
Yep. Coming back to your question, Nirma, so just like Dan said, it's either front row or all the way in the back for me. Midfield, it's just too much to be handling it in the midfield, because you'll see like some cars will be trying their level best to make a move forward, and it's going to be a big jostle for space in the middle, and I would definitely not want to be a part of that, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, Monza, I would say I would +1 on not qualifying in the mid pack. I would rather qualify at the back of the grid and not be in the mid pack if we're talking about Monza, that is. because I would say I haven't raced in any championship tiers in 2021 in F1 2021. I've only raced on 2020 in Tier 2, where I think my teammate was Charles Madhav, our team won the constructors and he won the drivers championship. So I would always be the back of the grid, but then somehow always finish way up from where I qualified. And Monza, I think I didn't have a good time because of the incidents. So ever since that race, I've started qualifying way off, and I know that turn 1 or anywhere in 4 seconds is going to be a nightmare, if you could put it that way. As we are now into qualifying, the Ferrari of Envy is way far off, the first car to leave the pits, followed by Shubham Das, the real ST, who is leading the Drivers' Championship. All going on an out lap. Akash Sonmane is right now across Redfield, going across Kravaganda. In front of them, Haas, and now Helium also. So I don't think only 3 drivers have not left their pit box.
Yeah, probably they're just waiting for a proper track slot to open up. Maybe working on a few last minute changes in the setup. I don't know.
I would say I would plus one with Couple from what he's doing. He has not left the pits because we have a lot of guys on the mediums or on the track. And as I say that, we have begun our first flying lap, a time lap, I must say, for Envy. Breaks into turn 1, very extreme braking point. Goes to the first right-hander, then left-hander, completing with Furio, going on to Kavagande, sticking to the inside throughout, not going wide even once, where Fernando Alonso wanted to get a move done on Vettel in 2013, goes into, I always forget the name of this corner, please forgive me, as we go into Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 followed closely up, sticking very close, not even giving an inch away from the track. He has completed Retrofilito, entering the DRS straight before a scurry pops up right above the horizon after he crosses the bridge. Here comes a scurry, a fast left-hander, right-hander, as drivers have reported, is very slippery now. If you toss the left-hand curve, from my experience, your car is going to go straight to where Elon Musk plans to go in the next few years. As we are going to approach Parabolica, we see the Williams of Realistic far off in the horizon, sticking to the inside, going a bit wide, and then cutting back into the inside. It's going to be a very fast entry for the drivers into the pits as Envy goes for 121.84. Now let's see what ST does on his mediums. Is going to be the question. He goes for a 121.872. ST not far off. So I think, obviously Envy has a lot to improve on that. And as we say that Ashray has gone 3,300 of a second quicker than Envy.
Yeah, this is quite surprising to see medium. Oh.
Full send by Black Sheep. That is Fred front wing. At least better than getting disqualified from the session. That is going to be something Stuart
I think my heart almost stopped there for a second.
I don't know what happened with Black Sheep, but he.
Whoa!
That was very close. That was very sketchy one for no more pro players.
Who stopped the track on this game?
Well, that was just Ashray who was just going slow. No more pro player who was just coming at a very high speed. He just had to make some quick avoiding actions over there.
Was it Black Sheep? I think it was Black Sheep who had to do the avoiding action.
No, Black Sheep. We are on the Black Sheep right now, and we just saw no more pro players start just going through.
Oh, okay. After that.
Yeah. Wow, Banak puts in the fastest time of the session.
Oh, Azim is someone you should not take your eyes off. Azim is going to be blistering quick, and he has shown some consistent pace and consistent lap times, lap after lap, ever since he has started racing with us in the Indian racing community. And while we are on the topic of mentioning IRC, our amazing, people who are responsible for the back end data and front end, the programmers of our community, have made this amazing thing called IRC Bingo, where you can put in your predictions for the race, and it closes, I think, an hour before the race, or during the timing the stream is supposed to be up. So that's when the entries close, and then whatever happens in the race, if that coincides with what you entered in Bingo entries, you win, basically. So that's really interesting, and it makes things a lot more fun and makes things, makes conversations with the drivers and community members even more funny. And given the case that you do not take offense into the funny things that happen in this, because you cannot say, I mean, it's obviously a different perspective. Someone's going to take some risk very seriously, someone's going to take it casually.
Yep.
And as we say
That's
that,
definitely a good way to interact with our fans. And yeah, please go ahead. And I think Ardia has put in a fastest lap, I guess.
oh yeah, I was going to mention that while we were on that topic. Arate Gupta goes 3 tenths faster than Azim and Ashray P3. Both of them on mediums, and instead of except Ashray Envy is a normal outlap, and he switches from the softs to the mediums. The only driver on the softs as of now in the top 10. Sorry, the second two drivers and top 10 was Don is on the softs. Thank you, Don, for breaking that amazing streak.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, so speaking of fan engagement, Masood has contributed to us in Super Chat. Thanks for that, Masood. Big shout out to you.
So I should now buy the game I've always wanted to buy with the IRC funds that we think. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that on stream. The admins are gonna cancel me now. And Don has retired. I hope in the bits. I pray to God in the bits. Yellow
Yeah,
flags
he
are
did.
oh wait.
He did enter into the pits. Like we just saw him entering into the pits. I don't know what happened to his maybe whatever, I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. But I saw a second 1, 2, 3 all with this.
That's just everything.
Codemasters been played. Wait, it's now EA Sports. So I should just keep quiet.
Okay, Don has left the session. I hope he comes back. I don't want to miss any drivers today. So yeah, and he's starting his Hotlap on the mediums. I still don't think that this is a bit early to go out on the mediums. What do you think? So because the track evolves quite a lot, and the last 2 minutes might be the optimal time to go out on the mediums. But we do see a lot of drivers have put in a lot of laps on the mediums. What do you think of that?
I think that's. I mean, since I'm not a tier 1 pace driver, I would say that's stupid from my tier 2 experience, because it's Monza, number one, because of turn 1, there is and always will be turn 1 collisions. Even there is a slight tap. We have known that even a slight damage in F1 is going to completely ruin the downforce and the top end speed we're going to have in the different sectors in any track, to be fair. And it's going to obviously hamper the strategy you have had planned out. And no matter how many laps ahead you think of, there will always be something that is nowhere, close to what you predicted for the race to turn out to be. So the drivers in the mid pack still doing laps on the tires is just, I would say, in vain, unless they're planning to go faster. And as I said that, it goes 4 tenths quicker than around there, makes me cough. And wow, that was amazing. With just 1 lap on his new mediums, he's gone 4 tenths quicker. But we should not, I should not get that excited, because it's still 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session. And you have people like SD, Azim, and you also have Kapil, who has not even left the pits yet. So
looks like Kapil is trying something different today. Maybe he's trying to put in the lap when the track has evolved a bit. I guess he doesn't want to waste his tire sets or whatever, but he hasn't left the pits yet.
I mean, I would say for all the OG people who have been part of IRC since a long time, I hope you guys remember Maranello Baby from Formula 1 2020 and earlier those games, because he had this very, very good habit. He had this very, very same habit that Kapil is displaying right now. Not leaving the pits until the last moment and then showing everyone who is boss when it comes to 1 lap qualifying.
The question is, can Kapil emulate that?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Kapil, can you make Maranello proud?
Well, Kapil has been putting in quite a lot of practice in the recent few races. I mean, this season particularly, he's been taking it quite seriously. So I won't be surprised if he's in the top 3, to say the least.
No, top. I'm gonna put my money on him being top what? Race winner.
Yeah, I definitely won't discount Kapil from the races, because the past few races we have seen him, he was nowhere close to the front. but somehow when the race comes, he finds his way back to the front.
Can this be another race where he finds him on pole position? Or will he find himself front running as we have Moto just leaving? And there's an incident on turn after Retifilio. We see a stop car on the track map. That is after Ascari. So I think it's an incident. There it is, it's on the right side. Yep, there it is. Goodbye, Moto. It was nice seeing you during qualifying. As he has crashed out into P10, let's hope. I think he's going to hope for at least one driver to out-qualify him, so he finishes P11 and then can have a free choice of tires. But that's unfortunate. That's where, from my practice sessions, I have been very conservative when it came to Ascari because it was very, very easy to just let the car loose and go into the walls or into the shovel. What about you, Deepak and SSJ?
Yeah, well, Ascari is just that kind of a corner. It's just that you have to push through the corner to get the maximum out of it because you have run up to the back straight over there. But like you said, if you just make one little mistake, take one little curve that you're not supposed to take, it will just throw your car off, and it could be potentially race ending if you're going to do that in the race. So it's obviously a very thin line to tread upon that particular corner.
I'm going to just check out the chat on stream. As you already mentioned, Masoom Intermission. Thank you also, Masoom. I'm going to ask the admins if they can transfer that to my personal account. Simping for Nirma the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you. Amor run through. Do you know what he means by that? I have no idea. Going down these chats again. Tamo says, is it too late for the bingo thing? Yes, it's too late. But then you can, keep an eye out for the next race. And for all the new guys and all the people that are not a part of our Discord, you are missing out on a lot of things. Go around to the description and find our website link and our Discord link. Join in and you're gonna have a good time on Discord. So a lot of guys with not only sim racing, also plays various games like Valorant, CSGO, obviously. Going down, I'm gonna ignore the chats about my accent. Thank you. Anish says us, may I correct myself? Who are the commentators? Well, it's myself, watching part of Nirma, followed by deepakraj, who is also a moderator on our stream. So I need to keep myself in check, or else I might get cancelled by the moderator.
Okay. So coming back to the action on track, we just saw Aradhya had went quickest, and then Banat just came back and snatched it away from him by 3 tenths. Really good lap.
Azim is still showing us that you are forgetting me. Just don't keep your eyes off of me, guys. Just keep me in the limelight. Azim is telling us to not lose track of him in the race, and we are going to keep an eye on him. Because I will keep an eye on him, and SD, and Couple.
Azim is definitely someone to watch out for. I mean, he has had a string of bad results in the starting of season, but last race he had quite a good result, had a good recovery and capitalized on a late safety car and was in the podium position. So I really believe that could be a turn of tide for him in his form. So I'm going to be very interested to see how he could finish today. Kaplace is out on his first hot lap. That is definitely not a good lap. That's for sure.
Kaplace is P2 if you want.
Oh wait, I think he just crossed the lap. Yeah, I think he just completed the lap. I thought he was starting his lap. That was my bad.
That is one lap and he has already gone P2, and there you go. He has kind of emulated what Maran Baby showed, but then with the lap that Azim has put up, there's no denying it's gonna take a little bit of work, at least more than one lap to get to that. And Couple has made a note of that, but it's P2, so at least starting out in P2 is not a bad thing, at least for Couple, because I think P2 starts on the inside.
Let me cut you off there. Helium has just smashed the timing by setting a first sub 1 minute 20 second lap. He's done a 1 minute 19.9.
All hail Lord Helium, coming to the rescue and making us all gasp in shock. Is he the driver that's gonna make it or break it this race?
I still think the timing is going to evolve quite a lot because we are the last 2 minutes. As we all know, the track is going to evolve to its absolute max right now. to the last minute, we are going to see a lot of quicker times, hoping that the drivers are not invalidating or making any mistakes. We could see some quicker times coming down the order.
As we know, no more blue player goes through Ascari. That's where people are going to be losing, and we have yellow flags in sector at the end of sector 1.
I think it's just drivers backing out to make a gap. I think that's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Moto player winds down the final corner, and let's see what time he could do. Can he do? It looks to be a personal best sectors all around.
But he loses time in the final sector. He's 2 tenths off.
I think maybe he might have lost some time on the Ascari chicane on the run-up. Like I said earlier, Ascari chicane, it's going to be very crucial to get the run-up right, because if you take it a bit too carefully, like a bit too cautiously, you might lose a lot of straight line coming out of that. That could lead to a lot of lap time as well.
We have a lot of drivers who are very close by, and Julian has retired from the session. So that gives Azim and Kapiles and also Aradhya Gupta a chance to at least improve. I mean, in the case of Azim, improve by 5 tenths, Kapiles to improve by 6 tenths, and Aradhya to improve by 7 tenths. Yikes, 7 tenths. Black Sheep taking advantage of the Alfa Romeo getting a slipstream. They might have been in the same voice chat to get and communicate that to each other, or maybe Black Sheep just being a little bit of cheeky beaky and getting that slipstream from the Alfa Romeo, I think, at his couple days, since I think that's the only Alfa Romeo driver on the track currently. As we go through, I always forget the name of that corner, forgive me. Let's move one. Beautifully done. Goes exactly where the car needs to go. Let's move to brake sound shift, 1 gear, avoid the gravel on the outside, or you're gonna go spinal into barriers on the left and right side of the track. DRS, straight crosses the first bridge, the second bridge is where you need to take care of your braking zone for Ascari. This is where the road driver is going to be spinning out the left curve, obviously not touching the curbs.
Oh, he just invalidated his lap. Sorry to cut you out there. He just went a bit wide over there.
Did he go very wide though? I was keeping an eye on his car. Did he go really wide?
The track limits are very fine, and if the wheel just goes beyond 1 mm off, and he's just gonna do it.
I mean, he went exactly where SD went, and SD's lap was not invalidated. That's
SD was much inside the track, like on the X curves at least. And ME has improved to P2. Oh, that was a very nervous moment on the final corner. I don't think he could improve much on this lap. But still he improves. Oh, I think he might have been having pole in his pocket if not for the final few.
No, I don't think pole, because that's still 4 tenths, 3 tenths off from where he was. So, Aradhya almost got P2, P1. That's very close to what Helium did. I think around or close to 1/10 within Helium.
Oxygen was just aborting his lap. I think he went right. Oh, Bana seems to have set a purple first sector, but he has invalidated his lap. He'd be a bit disappointed with that.
Kothar Shire is not going to be happy with that. He might bleep, smash the door.
Yep. So I guess all the drivers are in. Are there anyone who's on a lap? I don't think so. I guess that's our quali done. I guess that's our yep. I guess Helium was just so confident that he just said, okay, no one's gonna beat me. I'm just gonna retire. Forget it.
He literally did what Vettel did in 2013 Singapore. Does only 1 lap in Q3, sits out the remainder of the qualifying session and gets pole position. I think that was the, what do you call it? Getting a fastest lap, pole position, and finishing race in fourth position.
I mean, a Grand Slam that's leading every lap, and
yeah. Yes, I think Vettel got the Grand Slam in Singapore 2013. Thank you for answering my question.
Right, so starting order, it's Helium and Aradhya the front row, and SD starting from P3, Envy P4, Banat P5, Couple P6, Ashtray P7, No More Pro Player P8, Oxygen P9, Black Sheep P10, Akash P11, Moto P12, and Dawn P13. I hope Dawn joins the session and could at least take part in the race.
I don't know if you noticed, but P1 and P2, and then P3 and P4, very close between each other, because P1, Helium, P2, I believe it was Aradhya, Guess how many seconds of difference they had between them?
Yes.
6,000th of a second.
Yep. That's a very fine margin there.
And then P3 and P4, I forgot who they were. I'm sorry, but that was 3/10 of a second between them.
And going to the YouTube chat, Abhishek Dubey has mentioned Helium's car is definitely the latest out there. Yes, it is, man. Quite light.
Oh yes, Nickel answered the question. 6,000th of a second between P1, P2, and then P3 and P4 had 600th of a second between them. That shows this race is gonna be very interesting.
Okay, so people in the chat, put down your predictions for the chaos up ahead. Do you think there'll be any collisions in turn one, or how many cars do you think will head into the pits? Come on, let's have a game right now.
Or they could just go into our bingo, to our bingo page and cast their votes there.
Yep, that will also work.
Well, I for one, as a tier 2 driver, I feel left out because it's most this bingo, the whole thing it's just about it just has a lot of tier 1 drivers. Man, they all should
Yeah,
really include us, man.
well,
Jeez.
right now it's just that the people are considering how it's gonna perform, and if it's going good, I'm pretty sure tier 2 and tier 3 will also be there. So
Yeah, whether
Yeah.
I mean whether tier 2 or tier 2 and 3 are included or not, it's I mean I'm sure it's a pretty fun game.
Yep.
I guess I mean a game of what say well, it's gambling anyway, so yeah, I'm sure it is fun.
Yeah, it still is. It's a good fan engagement, I would say. It's a good way for them to take in on the action and try and predict the outcome. It's always fun to predict the outcomes, don't you think so?
Yep,
You
indeed.
could just say I told you so.
Well, since the beginning of this season, my favorite has been Black Sheep, and I've been predicting that he would take all the wins here because his lap times on the time trials are absolutely bonkers. Like he's in the top hundreds in the entire world, and yeah, but luck has not favored him as much as his skill has, because he's not been able to put much of a good result in his last few GPs. In his Chinese GP, he got a puncture, and in the last GP, which was in Saudi, I believe, not really sure what happened there. He had another incident, and it saw him. It saw him dropping out like to P11 to the last few places, and again in today's race also he invalidated his Hotlap. I just hope everything goes well for him from this point at least onwards.
Yep. I mean, it's been a string of bad results for Black Sheep, and I believe if I'm right saying that even last season as well, Black Sheep, it was either wins or nothing for him. It was just that kind of a season for him, and I just hope he could come back in the race, because he's starting seeing him starting from P10. It's not something that you see every day. It's a very odd position for him to start from. Like I said, his TD times are absolutely blazing quick, and it just doesn't look right, to be honest, seeing Black Sheep in P10. But let's see, I think he could recover in the race pace, but it's obviously going to be very important that sort of incidents that could definitely hamper his race if he gets caught up in anything like that.
Yes,
Mentioning about incidents, Couple is in a very odd position if he plans to take charge of the championship away from Real SD, which, from looking at his previous results and the way the championship is going to be set up, it's not too difficult for him to take the championship off from SD.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say anything until the race is over, but currently SC looks to be in a good form, and he seems to be on a roll. So let's see. But Couple is also not someone to be counted out. I think these guys will be battling it out till the end of the season if things go this way.
And of all people in front of him, it's Azim who's in front of him. Put a blistering lap after lap and not let Couple take away P1 at that point of time. When Kevin came up and said, no, P1's game. You kids can go off and play in your little playground. You know, around there, just a slim margin. Runs up to the fence and says, I'm going to get that P1. Just you wait. While the kids in the back are just way off. And if I remember correctly, you wanted,
Okay, that's interesting.
Helium, hello. Are you okay there, my dude?
I guess
that's
that's
that.
tire gone wrong.
But that's one way to heat your tires up. If you open the
Yeah,
inside,
as Don would say, that's aggressive tire heating, not a sprint.
I was gonna mention Don's name. Don hasn't joined the session yet.
That's nice to see. Yeah.
Before we begin, I'm gonna mention it again. We have the links of our website and our Discord down in the description below if you want to join the guys in the chat room, talk about the race, and well, just watch it with us. Feel free to do so, and also feel free to take part in the bingo game as we have cars taking position on the respective starting points. P1 on the outside, P2 on the inside, followed by P2, P3, and P4 again in same positions. There are 5 red lights, a little bit of a slight delay before lights out, and now it's lights out, and away we go. All the drivers are almost on the same starting pace while we have the drivers in the back. I think 2 of them have a beautiful start. Ilian is going all alone on the first turn. We have the Ferrari going on the inside. He touches the rear of Helium as we have a T-bone incident with the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo of Capoles. Capoles is damaged front left wing. That is not good for him. Oh my brother, P4, Capoles P3. Brother has to fall off a bit. We have SG positions, but he's too close to Moto. Can he make the dive on the inside? We have 4 cars. We are 3 wide on Della Rosia as he has to back off. Luckily, no damage for SG. It's P7. Things are still not going to calm down since we have Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Moto going on the inside of Azim gets the move done, but Moto doing another brave move. Couple is 6, but gets the move done. Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, since Couple has a damaged front wing. Azim is going to get the move done before even Ascari pops up into the horizon. Can Azim also get P3 away from Moto? Now the championship leaders, Caprice and SG, way down below. Meanwhile, it's a beautiful Sunday drive for Helium. SG going between the middle of the pack. It's very packed down there. I'm gonna take a breath. Wow, that was exciting.
Okay, it's still not over. These guys are still squabbling for positions, and it's just 2 wide and 3 wide all the way down the field. We do see some cars going down into the pits. I guess that's part of the place. Really unfortunate for him. He's in a very bad position right now, but he could still make his way back. But coming down to the action, Ashray is trying to size up Realistic. I think Realistic just had a move done, but oh, that was a collision there. Luckily, I don't think Ashray has any damage. He just got away with that. But man, that's a very chaotic start. And I think Helium just made contact with NB's car over there. Oh, and we see Black Sheep is going around the outside of Ashray. Wow. Just walks over him.
I think I forgot to take a breath between all of the incident between Envy's Ferrari and Helium. This slight touch, and then Couple is T-boning Envy, pushing way off onto the right side as if he were dusting off the ground.
Yeah, Couple is at a Envy just having a little moment there, and the Moto player might have a look, but looks like he just back a bit. But wait, Aradi has just made a move on Akash Sonoani. Okay. This is just getting too much to see what's going on. There's a lot going on down the back as well.
And here you have it. All the guys in the back and now in the front. Oxygen has sent positions up. Moto with the most planned positions up. I think E12 or E13. He was way back.
Now he's started with
E12. Now he's PS3. And Black Sheep, who was E10, is now P6.
And Moto moves up to P2, relegating Oxygen to P3. Moto is on a flyer.
Can Moto get the race win and snatch it away from Helium? But Helium has had the fastest lap.
Yep, Helium is the only driver who seems to have been unscathed from that start. But that's definitely going to be an investigation into the tournament instead of what happened. From what I saw, Helium got a very clear getaway, was much far ahead. I think Kenny just tried something, but it ended up really bad, and that caused a big chain reaction effect in the back as well. And I think Couple would have wanted NB's car to be ghosted a little bit earlier, because I saw NB's car ghosting, because if it didn't ghost, then Couple would have just got stuck over there. But I think it was still not that quick enough for him to just escape unscathed through that.
I would say it's a racing incident. No one is supposed to be blamed for that, because it wasn't an outright incident. or as full send. Helium is completely clear. Envy decided to go a little far off, just slight touch on the rear end of Helium, and
Yeah,
that's just domino
yeah,
effect.
it's just the way that the turn one is in this particular track. That's why people are very scared of this lap one turn one. It's quite infamous. Moto is currently just trying to blaze his way through, setting the fastest lap, and Banath is also on the move right now, just eating up
Both
oxygen
the
into turn
Haas
one.
drivers are not giving a single easy lap. They're gonna push the entire way through. Moto and P2, and then Aradhya does to Ashray what Helium did to Envy, almost yeeting Ashray to the left side. But with
It
that,
was just Ashley losing his rear and just coming to the left, and that just complicated things. But Ashley's pretty a bit late, trying to catch up as much as he could. I just hope he doesn't locks up his brakes or something. And as you guys know, Tier-1, no ABS allowed, so these guys are absolutely pushing to the limit without ABS assist.
now we know why the Haas drivers, the Haas team is leading on draw with Williams on the championship, Constructors Championship. Because look at where the Haas drivers are, both of P2 and P3, Moto and Azim, all are 2/10 between them. So probably team orders, if Azim thinks he's quicker, Moto's gonna let it pass, or Azim's gonna let Moto stay ahead. Azim playing the defense role, and as I said that, they are just hundreds of seconds between them. So I think team orders will come into play, maybe hold positions, P2 and P3, or maybe switch between them. But we have Ashray coming back for round 2 on Aradhya, goes on the outside, holds back position, and he again kisses the rear of Aradhya. Aradhya a little bit of a wheel spin back, but gets a better getaway than Ashray.
So in the start, I actually wanted to mention the tires the guys are starting on. And Oxygen, Black Sheep, Akash, the escorters on mediums. And so far, Oxygen seems to be the only runner in the alternate strat who is up there. He's in P4 right now. And of course, he was running in P2, but the Sauce with their advantage right now, Moto and Panatha are able to make quick work of him. But I really think Oxygen can be in a strong position coming down. But as you see, realistically, is hunting down Oxygen. Just using the soft tires to his advantage right now, getting past of him. But Oxygen still has a lot to gain in this race. He just needs to keep his head down. And as you see, SD just having a little wiggle over there, almost race ending for him, but somehow just keeps it on track.
I would say keep an eye out for the medium drivers, all three of them, because it's just a patience game. Now, just need to put lap after lap consistently and stay within the DRS. And the moment they pit for the faster tires later down the line, they're going to be blistering. So there's going to be a big position jump. I mean, at least in my perspective, for Oxygen, Black Sheep, and Carson, as we have Oxygen trying to get the position back from SD, putting a bit of a pressure. That's going to be an issue for SD. Wants to possibly fly past a couple of speed 30. There's no way he's going to be getting anywhere near real SD. So it's possibly P10, P9 finish for couple, in my opinion. So that's the gap of 6 points gone between Real SD and Couple. So Real SD is going to pull off a major point difference between the two guys.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but oh wait, Aradhya has spun out of the De La Rocha chicane, and that's really bad for him. I think he luckily didn't hit any wall or anything, so he might be getting away with without any big damage. But that's definitely going to be a lot of damage to his race performance. Oh, and we see he has spun again.
Yep, that's the way the tires are. The moment it's got clean up, you need to be careful for the next few corners because it's going to be very easy to spin and build. When he spun out in the Roger, we had less than 1 and less than 2. Very, very sharp turns. 90 degrees. Around 90 degrees, probably. And yeah, I think he spun after less than 1. So not surprising considering the way he spun up.
That's going to be a very, very hot tires there. So he's going to have to take it very easy for the next 2 or 3 turns and let the tires cool down. See, Oxygen, he seems to be having a little bit of advantage over ST on the straight line. So SSJ, you are someone who is experienced in this. So what do you think is a tire life for Soft? What is the pit for them?
Well, the Softs, if you push them really hard, you can go for, let's say, 18 laps. 18 laps until they hit 75-80% wear. And as for the mediums, they can go like the entire, the 50% duration, like the 27 laps we are on right now.
So Aradia has gone into the pits and he has chosen to take a hard tire. What do you think of that choice, SSJassassin? Because a hard tire is not something that we know to be a good race tire. So what do you think of that choice?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the hard tires are not especially good around this track because there are a lot of traction heavy zones here, and he's going to be struggling for a lot of grip, especially through what's this chicane called again? Della Roggia? Yeah, I hope that's the one. Especially through these zones, he's going to be struggling a lot. And considering that the tire wear for any compound on this track is quite low, it's not going to make much of a difference. I mean, he could have gone in the mediums itself, if you ask me. I just think he made a really bad call here to go for the hards, but can never say. There is always the possibility of a safety car. Might have missed out on something while I was saying that.
Well, it's fine. We just got back on time to see that little moment there. Yeah.
This
No
is
matter
why
what lap it is, Dortmund is always going to be.
Yep.
This is why I insist purely on doing stream than just giving my inputs and commentary as well. But it's okay. I can give a few inputs here and there.
Not. I mean, we do need good drivers' inputs. I mean, you are someone who is very quick in the game and who ready to have opinions on. So, yeah.
I would call myself.
In this game. I haven't raced a lot in this game, so your opinions are actually very, very constructive.
Well,
your insights are definitely helpful here.
Well, if I were to boast, I'd call myself king of Monza because I've had 3 good results, 3 podiums in a row in Monza. Once in season 6, once in season 6 I got a P2. In season 7 I got a P1, and again yesterday I got a P1. So yeah, I can say I'm pretty good at this track. Okay, I might be boasting
Very good
too
is an
much.
understatement, my friend.
I think I should keep quiet now and just do the streaming.
Talking about keeping quiet, Azim has gotten 3 seconds time penalty. Woo!
The first penalty of the day, so yeah, he
many more
definitely
to
needs to
come.
keep an eye on that.
Many more to come if you're going to take Ascari very, very conservative, as we have Oxygen, controller, OP, member of community, driving a Tier-1 since a long time and has always been on the controller. The space doesn't show that, and Ashra is weaving a lot around Garden. Black Sheep might be thinking, what on earth is this bloke doing? As we have Arad there going back. That's not the right way, my dude. Now you're looking the right way. At least he doesn't have damage, I think. I hope.
Yeah, his wings have not been affected as far as telemetry data, but yeah, the hard tire is definitely not working. It does just lose traction quite a lot, and he has thrown in the towel and called it a day. He has left the session.
I don't know about the tires of the car being damaged, but I know one thing that's damaged. That's his self-confidence. There's no way you're going to recover from what has happened today with Rad. I feel bad for him. That's not a way you would expect your weekend to go. You put in the practice and you have some expectations for yourself, but that's too bad.
Definitely that would a very disappointing end to the race for him. But coming back to the on-track action, Moto has caught up to Helium and he's within DRS and just 5 turns away from him. And we see Couple has spun out, and I think he might have lost an end plate or something. I'm not so sure, but I think his writing is having a slight damage. But that's not going to end well for Couple. It's definitely going to hurt his race even more right now.
I take full responsibility for the company, of course.
Okay, I think Moto is looking pretty strong on Helium and just absolutely rapid down the straights. And Oxygen has gotten past ST. That's nice. I think ST's defense had just fallen off and Oxygen has just made his way through.
Well, NB now has to overtake Real ST and Oxygen. But now I think we already know what's going on between the two horse drivers. Azim is going to be the defensive driver, keeping it clear between Moto. While Moto is going to do a very, very sweaty battle. But Helium, you need to keep an eye on these guys and on E5, since that's between 1/10 of the difference, and then we have E1 and 4/10 of the difference. There's a 3 drivers, and then on E1 we have 2 drivers. And also E8, where the difference is 3/10 with no more pro player. there's a lot of things going on today on the stream. As if we go to E5, and there's an end. Beautiful between Helium and Moto. That is something the admins might want to take an eye on. And
again.
it's too close. Oh.
That was too close for comfort for Envy. Like, if FT's car didn't go, like, I think he just barely got away with it. But if that ghost was a bit delayed, he would have lost the wing as well.
I think if this goes on any longer, I think I'm going to die of heart failure or something.
We have Helium and Moto. Helium has left pits. Meanwhile, Moto is still in pits. Both are on the same strats. I think pits has compromised Helium, Moto at least, because of more drivers entering pits. Now it's gonna be all of the hard work again, but then again, he has 16 laps to make up all of that time. And Banath, the only drivers, I'm sorry, Asim, the only drivers to have had a time penalty. He's holding strong, 4 tenths ahead of Oxygen on mediums. And he is, I think, the only driver in the top 5. Sorry, he's one of the 3 drivers in the top 5 who has not played yet. All of them are still on 10 lap. Just off the screen, Oxygen and Black Sheep have not played since lap 1. And Akar Sonamane also, the few drivers from the mediums who have not played to any other compound because of damages, I assume. So these are the drivers who were down back, who didn't qualify
has
well.
dived into the pits, and I think he'll be going to the mediums. And,
I mean, fair enough, because
happening here. It's
F1
just
didn't
Akar's car just glitches or something. I just saw SD was following his car, and all of a sudden his car was boosted and just went through him. I don't know what was happening there. Hope it's not any desync or anything. I don't want to see that. And Moto player has pit for a set of mediums. I guess most of the pit stops are done except for a few more drivers. And I guess Dawn hasn't joined yet. I think it's just AI just going around and yep.
I think that's the same case with Arate. If any driver is going to lap them, I think Oxygen is going to be lapping this car.
Arate just left the session. I didn't see him joining back, so I guess it's just as AI driving it for him.
I think he's going to be crying on his bed after what happened today.
Oof.
I really feel bad for it though.
It was fun though. And we have the second Haas driver getting a 3-second time penalty. Michael Massey is not happy with you guys because, well, I'm not going to mention the reason. It's going to get really controversial. But moving on, both of the Haas drivers have gotten a 3-second time penalty. That is not something you would want to see considering the fact that you guys are leading the Constructors' Championship. But they are very similar in terms of pace, so they still have a chance to the race win because note again that Bernard or Azim Bernard and Moto were both in B2, B3 shuffled before, but Helium on P1, so Helium is going to be a one-man army. Meanwhile, his teammate Ashford is B3, but he hasn't been in yet, and Azim lets Moto go because I think they have it already set in the mind for Azim is going to be defending Moto. Moto is going to take B1. Both the drivers, amazing pace between them. So let's see what they have to show to us and viewers.
I think Moto had a wing damage, I think, on the pit entry because we did see that little collision between him and Helium. I think that wing damage had made him to replace his wing something. I'm not so sure what happened. Maybe he got held up in the pits or whatever, but yeah, he does have some ground to catch up to get in Helium. But looking at his pace, I don't think he'll be taking forever to do it. Maybe 3 or 4 more laps, I don't know, but definitely I think this will go down to the wire between Helium and Moto.
No, I think it's gonna finish off way before we reach lap 20 because it's 2 seconds between them, or is that? Oh, that's the interval. Never mind. Yep, I'm gonna correct myself and say yes, I agree with you. It's gonna go down the wire. I didn't notice it was intervals. I thought it was a bit later.
And Moto needs some luck on his side as well because he does have a 3-second penalty. So he'll be hoping that Helium also gets some penalties so that they could level out. But if nothing happens, then Moto has quite a task on his hand to win the race. He needs to get ahead of Helium and break ahead with a 3-second gap. That might be quite an uphill task, but we never know. Let's see. And Ashley is coming to the pits and he has taken a set of mediums. Nothing too surprising. So I guess almost most of the drivers are pit except Oxygen and Black Sheep are still going strong on their alternate strategy, still running on the medium tires. It's all looking good for them as well.
Azim goes purple sector 1. He's 200 clear from his previous lap. And let's see if we can get another good sector 2 because then a very, very beautiful toe from Moto when Moto has to push through the air. So it's a very good strat because if Moto does end up messing a bit, he can let Azim pass while Azim then punches through the air and let Moto catch up to them. Of course, there's a lot of that's a very big difference between behind them and ahead of them. Helium is going to feel the heat behind them for 6 seconds because Moto was showing tremendous pace. So Helium might be having that bit pressure, but I think there's a very good chance that he might be just taking away the win very easily.
Yep. As it stands right now, Helium looks to be comfortable. The data is not the data is not falling down rapidly. It's just staying there. So I guess Helium will just be trying to manage his level best and just bring it home without any penalties. That's a very important point. No penalties.
I mean, because previously Moto was right in the slipstream, so that was one big reason why Moto was closing up. But now, none of the drivers have slipstream except Azim. So either Azim might be getting the chance to push and get the move down on Helium. While I say that, it's come down to fat 6 seconds or high 5 seconds to Helium between Moto and Helium. But also remember that both the drivers of penalties, just passing Helium is not going to cut it. They need to also gain 3 seconds of Helium. I think Helium is going to be taking away this race win because if you consider that fact, it's going to be around 8.8 seconds or around 9 seconds of difference between Helium as of now, and as we have a third driver joining the team of the penalty box, company 6 down at P10. He's still going to get P10 since normal block is way off.
Yep, and I don't know if the Haas boys has planned this or not, but whatever it is, it's working right now, and they are just pulling each other forward. It's quite nice.
This is basically what the Ferrari engineers or the strategists wish to have. If the Ferrari strategists from Formula 1 want this to work for them, I would say get in contact with Moto and Azim because this has worked brilliantly for the Haas boys.
Well, for that you need the drivers to trust their fellow drivers. So that's the most important part. If you trust the other guy, then obviously you'll be free to let them by or pull them along. Kapil is just having a few sweaty moments here and there, just wobbling. And I think it's time for him to pit. I think probably he's just expecting some safety car or whatever, but I really don't think it could happen quite a lot. As it stands right now, everyone is just going and minding their own pace. Everything's looking proper clean. So, yeah, I think he might have to pit soon. His tires are not looking that great, to be honest.
Now it's gone very monotonous. Except a few drivers here and there who are, I would say, within a few tenths. The only drivers within tenths is Kapil to Akash. So now Kapil is right behind him. Might get the DRS. I don't know if he's going to get the move done before Retrofilio. He might get the move done around the Malaysia or maybe after Lisbon 2. That is something to see if Kapil does not spin like he did after Sky previously, which is not good, but then Akash already dies into the pits.
Yeah, Akash has gone to the pits. He's on the mediums, and he's gone to the pits, and Kapil, who is on softs, he's just staying out. I think Kapil is just going all in, just trying to go for all or nothing kind of an approach.
I would say staying out is going to hurt Kapil more than it is supposed to benefit. Or maybe he might be looking to keep his mediums as fresh as possible and so he can do all guns approach.
Yeah, that could be a fact, but he just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose a lot of time. And as the Oxygen is making a move on Envy, of course, his softs is absolutely running over the mediums like is not even there. It was quite a simple move for Oxygen. He's just gonna be on the charge right now, trying to get a Real SD who is 3.7 ahead, and Delta is rapidly closing down.
But Oxygen also needs to be careful with his tires in the end, because by the time the end of the race rolls around, the guys that he overtook, Envy in this case, is going to get an advantage on, I would say, Oxygen. But now we have Akash Suman is still in the pits. Is F1 being F1 now?
I honestly don't know what happened, but I don't know why he's still in the pits. He's supposed to be left the pits a long time ago.
It's been more than 5 seconds, so even if they're. Oh, he has retired from the session. Well, thank you, Codemasters, and thank you, esports.
He's not gonna be very happy with that. I don't know what happened there, but this is something that we are seeing for the first time. They were just going to the pits, not able to leave the pits. I don't know what happened with him. Maybe an input device failure or whatever it may be. I'm gonna be very keen to know what happened, but that's really unfortunate for him. He was driving a decent race, and as you know, the top 15 get points. So all the finishers of today's race are gonna get points. He's gonna be missing out some valuable points today. And shout out to Kake as well. Thanks for your contribution, man. And yep, almost 1 year with the community, and it's been really fun journey. It has been a fun journey for us as well. And yep, it's been quite an interesting last year. The community has expanded quite a lot. Thanks to everyone who has joined with us, who has raced with us. It's been quite a pleasure to commentate on these races and see the community grow.
Oh, thank you, Kake. I'm gonna be using that for my funds, which I believe none of the admins or moderators will hear. Oh no, I have a moderator right here in the comments box with me. But thank you, Kake, for the super chat. You have been part of the community for the past 1 year. What about you? How long have you been part of it?
I think I've been here since I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure it's more than a year. But yeah, it's been really great. Like I said, it's been really great to see a community that's focused on motorsports and racing in general just grow from strength to strength. It's really nice. And recently we did hit our milestone of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's definitely really nice to see the community grow.
I've been part of the community, I think, for the past 2 years. I joined the Discord when we not even had 100 members. We were almost going to hit 100 members. So now seeing the Discord community at about 1,400 members, and then the YouTube channel also at about 1,000 subscribers, it's amazing to see from where we have grown. And it's not just, people coming and just, joining the community. I've also had the chance to communicate and talk to and have some unranked sessions with the people from Intermission community who just joined recently. And it's always a blast to have those guys in the sessions and chatting along and talking about random things about life and racing along. It's really fun. It's been amazing the support we have had in the past few weeks, months. So if you want to have friends with you on Discord who also have the same love and passion as you do, that is motorsports, feel free to join the Discord. Everyone across of India or Indians who are not even invested, who are not even living in India, in the NRIs, are always welcome in the racing community and share the same language that we love, that is the language of motorsports, as quoted by Mick Schumacher in Schumacher's beautiful documentary on Netflix. Have you watched it, Deepa?
No, I haven't, but it's definitely a watch list I'm gonna watch sooner or later. But yeah, coming back to the action on track, right now we have Real SD and Black Sheep closing down on MD and Banat respectively. So Black Sheep looking to be on the faster tire compound. I think he'll be having quite an easy move down this, but SD is gonna have to fight it out a bit with Moto because they're on the same tire. I would actually say a lap older than Banat. It's not much of a difference, but still there is that factor. But SD will gonna have to fight it out a little bit more. And I see Black Sheep just crawls away from him, just using the soft tires to his maximum advantage, just breaking out as much as the gap he could. So he's definitely gonna push to his max and try to get a good result here. As you see, SD is closing up on Banat, and still not close enough. I would say maybe after Lesmo 2, he might have a try, or maybe the next lap turn one, he could be level pegging with him, I think. What do you think, Nirma?
Oh, there's a lot of things to happen yet. We are 6 laps to go. Now the pressures might be getting up to them. So Real SG is going strong. He will always go strong. There's always only few small incidents in a very, very few races that he messes up. And messing up is not something that SG does. So he's gonna come for Banat. He's gonna come for SG. He's not gonna back up.
As it stands, Banat is still not going to be having his podium because of the 3-second penalty, and ST stands in the podium as it is right now. But he just needs to be careful because Oxygen is joining the party right now. He's within the DRS of ST, so it's going to be a real down to the wire fight for the P3 positions right here. ST is making a move on Banat. He's ahead, but Banat hangs in on the inside, goes deeper on the brakes, and just makes it tough for ST to get ahead, and ST just has to slightly back out, and Oxygen is right now looking to be on the attack. ST just went from the hunter to the hunted within a span of one corner. And Oxygen is sizing him up, but I think he just stay back over here. He might be going on the attack on Lesmo too. This is quite an interesting action at the end of the race. What do you think of this action right now?
Oh, this is now I'm just rubbing my hands. I'm gonna be going back to speaking without taking a single breath and bring breathless into an understatement. As we now are into the DRS straight, as Oxygen and SD, the only 2 drivers with DRS. That was a horrendous incident that we might have missed for a few split seconds between Oxygen and SD, but there was no such damage, I think, on at least on Oxygen on board. I don't know what's the situation. SD is also clear, but that is something that is going to bring heart rate up for both the drivers. That is not something very.
Can they go on board Oxygen? I just want to have a look at the telemetry for him. I think he might have a slight left wing damage. I'm not so sure.
That's going to compromise him a bit.
Yeah, what I saw happening there was Oxygen was determined on getting the inside line on the Ascari chicane, but SD just not budging, and that made both of them just go quickly on the corner. Somehow both of them held it. Kudos to them, but SD will not be really happy about that. But he's back on the attack on Banat. He's going down the outside of the Curve Grande. And he's having an inside line over here. Can Banat do something on the brakes similar to what he did? But nope, he can't. He just concedes the corner there. So yeah, Banat is. I mean, right now Banat, the best he could do is just hang on to SC and hope he makes a mistake, or maybe even a pen that equalizes both of them. But Oxygen is not so far back. He's still hunting them down.
No, mistakes is not something that SD does. From what I've seen from him, he is very aggressive. Either he takes it slow or he takes it aggressive. There is nothing in between for that young man. In B3, in the car that is also driven by Ocon and Fernando Alonso, the Alpine. Or is that Red Bull?
Which car are you talking about?
Realist.
Yeah, realistically, he's in the Alpine. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. Grazie.
So I have to correct you here. SD's on the Williams.
Wait. Oh my god, what?
Okay, now, yes. Sorry, my stream was...
Okay, I'm blind.
The stream was pixelated for me. Thank you for the correction. Dan, the SSJ stream.
Yep, I'm blind. Sorry for that. But to be fair, the leaderboard, a lot of blue cars on the leaderboard, it's quite confusing, so yeah.
I mean, there are blue flags with different tones and shades. I'm blind as well. Looks like the VFX industry has not been faring well for my eyes.
Yep. So I guess Oxygen is falling back. I guess the big damage is definitely taking some effect on him. He's not closing in as much as he was before. So that's going to put a damper on his race. But that's going to be a talking point. That's going to be a point of contention between SC and Oxygen. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, and going to be interesting to see the onboard of that. Let's see.
I think SD might be given a slap on the wrist for that. I think SD tried to close the door, but then Oxygen was determined to get that move done from the exact same spot that he was in.
Again, so, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but from whatever little we onboard we saw, ST was just sticking to the inside and Oxygen was trying to open the door that was closed. Like just trying to make a way through there, almost giving 2 Vs on the cars. So, like I said, it's just speculations right now, but we can never say nothing for sure.
We have a yellow flag. I think normal people is having a moment there. But yes, okay. I mean, I would say it's not going to be a time penalty or at least penalty point for you, but at least it's going to be a slap on the wrist, a warning for at least any upcoming races or events that are going to come. Meanwhile, I think the position between Realistic, SC, Banat, and Oxygen have not changed yet. Moto could not get the race win from Helium, but then Moto has shown us what an amazing pace he has.
Definitely, it has been a blistering performance from Motor today, and Banat also like making his best out of whatever happened. But that's really unfortunate. The track penalty and ST being ST just making his way through the field. And I think Oxygen is going to lose another position here to Black Sheep. Black Sheep looking to be strong with the car that is perfectly fine, whereas Oxygen is trying to bring it home with that slight damage. So yeah, we can already see him losing the performance to the corners. I guess turn 1 battle might be over.
Well, Black Sheep was P10, and here we have him at P6 and almost at P5. And he might get an opportunity to, it's 2 seconds and 2 laps, but you'll never know unless Azir messes up, then Black Sheep might get P4. So that would be an amazing
well,
moment.
as it stands, Black Sheep is gonna get the P4.
How is that?
Well, Banat has 3 second penalty. You're forgetting that.
You are absolutely right. Thank you so much.
He's on the fringes of getting the P4. Black Sheep just needs to get a few more milliseconds and he is in P4.
So as we're reaching the end of the race, I would like to ask dear viewers to drop down your driver of the day, because if we talk about the driver of the day that the game is going to give, it's going to be Moto because he started from way down from P12 to P11 and now is in top 3. So the game's going to give it to Moto, but then what do our viewers think? Who really deserve the driver? Drop it down and we will let the driver know that they have been voted as driver of the day by our viewers.
My personal vote is going to be the same as the game. It's Moto. He kept it clean to the start and just kept it going. And another driver that you're forgetting through all this mess is Helium. He just broke away and just never looked back. Like he was under the threat of attack in the first soft stint, but after that
was not a threat. That was was not even a threat. He was getting attacked. He knew it's not gonna go well for him. But then the pit scenario that more drivers coming in and then Moto getting killed in pits, that has just completely ruined it. Otherwise, if that would have not been the case, I think Moto would have had P1. But then Helium has shown us that he is equivalent to Hamilton and Verstappen of IRC. And except for those few laps, Helium is not even in contended for the race win. Aradhya was the only driver who was at least close to him on qualifying, and look where he is. There was Moto and Aradhya were the only 2 drivers who realistically had a chance to battle with Helium, and then they're nowhere near him now. So Helium has had a very comfortable race except those few laps.
And that seems to be closing up to real ST. I think he's just going for on-track glory right now. But Helium is crossing the line and he finishes P1, completes the race in an absolutely dominating fashion. And Moto crosses the line for P2. Realistic crosses P3 and Banat just getting a little nervous there, but will come home P4, but will be relegated down to P5 on penalties. So Black Sheep comes home P5. Black Sheep takes P4 and Oxygen is in P6 and the P7. Shastry comes around for P8. And oh well, you don't want to do that, my friend.
And he has done it.
Well, he has crossed the line, so it's not a repeat of last season Tier 2 opener where the race winner just did the celebration prematurely and just crashed into a wall. So yeah, he just crossed the checkered flag, so that's great. And no more pro player comes across for P9, and it's Couple is way far back.
But
just
he
did the fastest lap.
But he had the fastest lap of the race. He hasn't.
Yep.
And what Ashley did, I did that in Formula One in F1 2020, I think season 5 in France around Paul Ricard. I crashed my car into the wall. I thought I would cross the finish line, but then I crashed it just mere meters before the finish line, and I got the DNF even though I was in the points. So that was embarrassing, and that was caught on street. But couple is finishes the race, rounding up tonight's race of round 5 of IRC Tier-1. Moto given the driver of the day as he should, finishing P2 from the back of the grid, and Helium in the Aston Martin coming up to the podium. We have our drivers over here: P1 Helium, P2 Moto, Real SD P3, followed by the Indian Scotsman Black Sheep in P4, Azim Banatwala P5, Oxygen P6, Envy P7, Ashram P8, Normal Pro Player P9, and the driver with the fastest lap of race with 121.055, Couple around the P10.
Yeah, I guess those are our points finishers because everyone else they had either disconnected or just the AI driving around. So yes, only the top 10 are getting the points today. But yeah, that was quite an intense race. It was quite an intense start and a little lull in the middle, but then again it came to a cracking finish. And yeah, that was a really good race to be honest with you. What do you think of the race?
The race was beautiful. The incidents just made it even better. Turn 1 was cleaner than what I expected it to be. No matter what tier it is, turn 1 is always going to be horrible, but considering what happened today, it was okay.
Yep, today's race was relatively clean as well. No safety cars, no VSCs.
Oh
So that
yeah,
part
I
of the
didn't
strategy was
notice.
completely out.
I didn't notice there weren't any safety cars. I didn't
Yep.
even notice.
And I think Banat will be more disappointed because he did do a good performance in the start, but just the penalty and just losing some pace in the end definitely cost him. But I'm pretty sure that's a performance that both the Haas boys will be proud of. And I
As
think we do have our podium finishers in the commentary VC. So, uh, Nirma, why don't you take away with the proceedings?
Absolutely, I would love to. Moto, Helium, Shubham Das, congratulations on the race, finishing P1, P2, and P3. Helium, let's start with you. P1 in the race and being the Hamilton on the racetrack, flying off into the distance. I would like to start off by mentioning turn 1. What do you think happened from your perspective? Because you blissed off and there was a pile up right behind you. So, what do you think was going on in your mind and what do you think happened at the round?
Well, I braked on the normal braking point, but someone either didn't brake on the braking point and pushed me. So I had to cut the second corner very harshly and slow down, obviously, so that I don't get a very good large penalty. As for the large pileup behind, I have no idea what happened. I'm gonna have to watch the replay.
That was a beautiful sight to view. So feel free to look at the stream.
Yeah, yeah.
And Moto, you finished P2. You were very close to getting that P1 from Helium, but then both of you died in the bits. I think you kissed the rear of Helium, but then a few more drivers pitted too. So I think you got held up in the bits. So you lost the chance to attack P1. Or was it something else?
Yeah, I mean, I got the dream start actually. From my lap one was pretty nice. It felt nice dodging all those shenanigans that were going on. But I had good pace. But I think on the pit entry, I think Helium broke a bit too early for my liking. I think maybe, and I went into the back of him, costed my wing, and that's why I couldn't attack him on the second stint. So yeah, I mean, I had the pace to win, but it's all right. It's racing. I'm glad with the result as a whole.
There's
Shubham
one
Das.
question. Was your wing damaged in that? Did you have to replace your wing?
Yep. I got damage on my wing because helium. I mean, I felt like he broke a bit too late. I'm not sure. Might have to look at it again. Possibly report it. I'm not sure. But yeah, it costed me my wing and essentially my P1, I guess, in a way.
All right. But still, that was a really good race. You had a good result. And we did see you and Banat were moving up the field in quite an organized fashion. So, was there some kind of team play going on the
Yep.
behind, or
Yep.
was it just
Of course.
yeah?
So because my wing, I had to change my wing. So first stint, I think I got a good start, and Banat let me by because he knew that I had the pace on him. and he stuck within DRS, and that's why he we had a good charge through the field, if you could say so, and we pulled away from the pack behind. And basically on the second stint, then again I came out behind him because of my damaged wing, and again same strat. He was sticking in the DRS, but then I think he had a few incidents and he just got out, and then he had to battle with SD. But yeah, overall a good race for the team.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely good haul of points for both of you as well.
Yep.
Moto, what about your qualifying? Because you, I think, spun out on the right side of
Yeah,
Ascari.
qualifying
So
was
what
just
happened there?
vibes. I mean, I didn't have any pace in qualifying. Was messing up every braking point, and didn't have the confidence and the traction on those on that high, what do you call, low fuel. So I just decided to yeet it out of Ascari and die. So I guess it worked out pretty well considering my lap one.
Oh, it worked beautifully from what I can see. Moving on to Shivam Das, the real SD on the racetrack, P3. You had a very, very sweaty battle in the final few laps with Oxygen and Azim Banatwala. So take us through what happened with that little incident I think you had with Oxygen before as you turned up at Ascari before the second bridge.
Yeah, so I got at that point of time I got a very good run on Banat, and I was going to go down the inside, try to make the move stick, but Oxygen was also close to me. I was always closing the gaps. I was moving slowly. It was not, if you can see the replay, it was not a sudden move to the left. So Oxygen himself shouldn't have put his nose there, which I am lucky at the end of the day both of us did not retire. Because I kind of held the car in with my brakes, and he also did a very good job of not crashing. So yeah, in the end of the day, his nose didn't belong there, and I think that's what I have to say for that incident.
Well, luckily none of you crashed, and as you mentioned, that's very, very good that you guys didn't crash. But that was a very good battle because all three of you were the only drivers I think who were tense within each other. And I think from that, Oxygen did get a small damage. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's racing incident.
Yeah, he
But
did get a bit of damage after that, which I mean, we're in the VC, so I apologize for that. But anyway, at the end of the day, he did get P6 with a penalty looming on my head due to some turn one shenanigans. I'm not sure what happened. I have to look back at the footage. It might have been my fault as I spun Aradhya probably, or I might have gotten a hit from behind. But yeah, at the end of the day, with the amount of practice that I did of maybe 2-3 laps before the race, I think I'll take P3 or P6.
that's beautiful then, considering what amount of practice you put in.
Yeah.
Deepak, on to you.
Yeah, generally at the end of the day, championship still leading, so let's go.
Yep, it's a good race, and I just wanted to talk about the incident, but yeah, I think you had clarified what happened. So yeah, definitely it was good car control there from both of you guys to not crash it into the wall and just end the race there. But yeah, at the end, it still was a really good race from the three of you. A really good performance put out. Really nice race. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, P1, Helium, P2, Moto, and P3, Shubham Das. Moto, you've also been given the drive of the day as by the game, and in my opinion, you deserve it. That's beautiful performance from
Thanks,
you.
man.
Especially
Love you
from
too.
P12 to P3 on lap one. So definitely.
And with that, we conclude tonight's stream. Thank you for watching the Tier 1 Round 5 of Indian racing community on Monza Italian Grand Prix. Feel free to join our Discord, which will be linked in the description below, and also log into our website to sign up for any upcoming races or to look at the standings and or any upcoming races. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Steam, or Reddit. Yes, we are on all of those social media websites. Thank you again for joining in, and I hope you guys have a good night. Tonight with you was the streamer Dan the SSJ Assassin, and commentary with me was deepakraj and myself.